On June 16th, 2018, I launched this show. Have faith, let it begin. Join me each and every weekday at 7:30 a.m. live because this is a show all about faith. Motivational topics, inspirational stories, personal testimony designed for you, the daily commuter. My name is Angel, and welcome to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
30 seconds to go.
Hi, I am Mia. You're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin.
Hi, my name is Isabella, and you're listening to Have Faith, Let It Begin. Hello, my name is Amari, and today we are back on another episode of Have Faith and Let's Begin.
10 seconds to go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, my name is Mia. Welcome back to another episode, Parenting Part 3.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the conclusion of Parenting Advice Part 3. My name is Angel. To my right, Lyann and Jen. Folks, we're going to get right into it because we are on a roller coaster with these episodes, and we left off with a very interesting one. Is it okay for your parents to be your friend? Let's take it over. I don't even know how to answer this because we just had this experience 2 seconds ago. And your son took it a different way, right? He was like, we can't be friends? Like,
yeah, he
right?
was kind of crushed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I felt like, okay. And my only answer to him, because that's part of parenting, is like you have to think of things on the fly and hopefully you say the right thing because we don't always say the right things. And the way I answered it is like, we're more than friends. Mm-hmm. I mean, friends is one thing, but we're more than friends. And that seemed to suffice. That seemed to be enough for him. He's like, yeah, you're right. We're more than friends.
And you don't have to elaborate. Just let it go.
That's when you feel like, oh, yeah, I'm smart. Because sometimes we don't feel smart.
No, because then I gave you the side eye. I'm like, oh.
But you brought it up. You brought it up. So back to you. You said, you were saying something in the last episode, right toward the end. Mm-hmm. You're talking about how, we're not friends. Your daughter and you are not friends.
No.
You're mother and daughter.
Yeah, well, because you see that. Like, you see...
But what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
I think it's the time. You see a lot of parents, as teachers, okay, will have parenting conferences. And this is when, usually if you have a parenting conference, a lot of times it's that the child needs some extra, something's going on. Not always, but a lot of times parenting conferences is because you need to speak to that parent. And you'll hear, Jamie is my best friend. And that's when the teacher, antenna goes up. It's like, that's the problem. That is exactly the problem. And I think it really has to do with age. Can you be a best friend to your child at 5? Really? Can you be a best friend to your child at 25? Well, at that point, that changes. But I really don't believe that you can truly be friends with your child before they're 18 years old. I really don't.
Do you think it has to do with the generational gap? Because I've always stated many times on this show that my mom is my best friend. But I don't look at it the same way we're talking about it. When I say to her she's my best friend, I'm implying that I can tell her anything.
But could you say she was your best friend at 16?
No. I think it
comes with age.
It came with age, yes.
Yes.
I use it as a compliment, and I guess because for me, I can count on one hand how many friends I have. So for me to tell my mom you're my best friend, I think she understands. I hold that as an honor, as a badge.
And here's the problem with that. In my opinion, of course, it's just my opinion, but what I tell my best friend about the things that I want to share, my intimate details, I wouldn't want to share with my mom. Because if you're let's say you're having trouble with your wife, right?
Right.
And sharing it with your mom, that hurt that you're throwing on them, is going to be hard for her to overcome. So when you go back to Rachel and you guys are lovey-dovey again, your mom's going to remember that maybe Rachel didn't feel like waking up and making you an egg and cheese sandwich. And to your mom, I mean, that's the silliest thing, but
No,
to
I
your
get what
mom,
you're saying.
how dare she, keep you from the egg and cheese sandwich, which is really ridiculous in the grand scheme of things. But now that you're a parent and Ariel's 8 months, right? The hurt, I've never experienced hurt until somebody messes with your child.
No, I agree. But see, the other thing is too is when you're friends with your child, then how do you discipline them?
Oh yeah, that's yes.
Like that,
bringing it back to
right,
like the younger age, yes.
But not even that. Like you're 15, you're 16-year-old, you're not their parent, and then all of a sudden, they want to go do something or something happens, and then you try to like regain that mother role, and you can't because this whole time you've been their friend. I don't know, like. You let them drink, let's just say, right? You let them have I don't know, a sip of something, or but then all of a sudden it leads into something, right? So now you have to be that parent because now that child messed up. But how does that work now? Because you've been friends with them. So that's why, so I don't ever want to go over that.
It's like a boundary. It's like an imaginary
it's so hard to
boundary.
explain,
but here's when it happens. Usually, what I find, there's always a divide. Kids are manipulators, the best of all manipulators. They're awesome. If there's a weak parent, they're going to expose them quickly. Oh, yeah. They're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to go ask dad, if I can go out with, and that goes back to the other pieces, the whole, setting up rules together. But if you're their friend, and you're allowing them to do things, that's when the problems start. Because once you let go of your reins, they're gone. You can't regain them. You can slowly loosen them up, like Jen's doing with Ariana. She's allowing her to go out a little more and stuff because of the trust. But if she allowed her to go out 6th grade, 7th grade, and now she's acting up, how can she tell her in 8th grade, no, you can't go out?
Right. You can't, exactly. Again, we go back to being consistent. It has to start. You start now at 8 months. It might be as little as the routine, right? Here's the routine. Here's your schedule. The same thing in the classroom. Like the teachers will say to me, "How do you get these 4-year-olds to do this?"
Right.
Consistency. We have a schedule. We have rules, and it's tough love, right?
And for some of the people that are out there that don't have children, you really can't kind of compare a situation like if you're a manager and your friend is working for you. It's just a different beast.
Oh, wow. Yes.
You can't be, and that's what I was thinking about when you were talking about it, because I can't 100%. Really relate yet because Ariel's too young. But I'm thinking how many times as a manager, how many friends worked for me, and I had to discipline them, and because we were friends.
And how about when they came in late? Like, oh, that's my boy. He won't
I wasn't. I was very strict, but he was upset because he's like, he was the one saying that's my boy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, what are you crazy? You're hurting my numbers. But it didn't work, and you know what? You lose friends that way. So in reality, what could be a very, very bad situation where you lose a friend, that could also damage not only your relationship with your child, could affect your relationship with your marriage.
Of course,
because now the marriage is getting.
Of course,
and I think that's part of where it goes wrong. You have to be a united front. Even if you disagree, if you reprimand the child or take away their phone, which, by the way, let me just tell you, that's like a limb. When you take away a phone, it's like they feel like they only have one arm.
Yes.
It's horrible. It's really, really,
it's kind of awesome.
I think it's funny because when I hear that, I guess maybe it's the old fogey in me. I remember being grounded, and we would go to the room, and we can't go out.
Right.
Because back then, outside was freedom. It was fun. To be grounded, now it's like a joke. But in your case, they took a phone away, and that's the new grounding. I don't know. That's weird.
No, we used to get our bikes taken away, right?
Yeah,
but now, I know it's ridiculous. I know.
But going back to the whole parenting and trying to do the right thing, and I understand why they would want to be their friend and have that great communication, but there really does have to be that healthy fear. And we, like I said at the beginning, we don't always say the right things. And depending on how we feel in the day, maybe I'm just so tired and now I'm short, or I yell at my child. My biggest and most important advice to you is one that was given to me by a psychologist friend of mine. She's a friend of mine that's been a psychologist for many years, and she told me, don't ever forget to apologize. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. So I asked her, what do you mean? And basically, it's okay to let the child know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I yelled at you that way. Because that's like a human, and I've done this with my kids where I've apologized and they're like, that's okay, mommy. It almost makes them learn empathy.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I shouldn't have done that. It gives them responsibility, and I think that's like the biggest thing that I want to leave you with is apologize. And when I think back, I don't remember if mom or dad really apologized, and I think they were great parents, but it's just something do you think apologizing?
They apologized to me.
Oh, you baby.
Maybe that's a segment about being the youngest of the
exactly.
Well, you know what? I was quite the demon. I was quite tough.
You were a beast.
Yeah, but which makes me laugh.
But I mean that in a good way.
Yes, and you know what? I always find that interesting. Maybe that's what makes me a good behavior specialist, because I have done everything and anything to those teachers. God bless them.
Oh, man.
Well, I want to take your advice and say I'm sorry that we can't continue on with this segment, because we're way over time. And listen, it's sad to say that this completes a 3-part series. I know our viewers out there would love to have you on weekly with me.
Well, don't wait another 6 months. That's all I have to say.
Then you need to come visit, or we have to go there.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
What we should be? Why don't we plan a Have Faith Let It Begin Florida edition, live from like a great area, and we'll go live on Facebook. That would be really cool.
That would be.
It would be really cool. We got to do something like that.
Okay, that would be fun. Sounds great.
Yeah, let's do something like that. Well, with that being said, everybody, we want to thank you personally for joining us. And last time we didn't have a professional email, and now we do. Angel at havefaithletitbegin.com. Email, and you're more than welcome to send it out to us for Leanne, for Jen. I will make sure they get those messages. And we got to plug your show, Leanne, because I've been saying this for quite some time. Leanne is on a journey to take things to another level. And as we conclude this, it would be wrong of me to end without saying what is coming up. Do not say the name of your show yet, because we don't want anybody stealing it and we're not in production. But do you have an idea of how you can tell people what's coming?
Well, I love to talk about topics that most people don't want to touch.
Okay.
And my first episode will be about unconditional love and the inconsistencies with that. It's going to be interesting, and it's going to make you think about your relationships with your families and friends differently.
Right. And I know that we're going to try our best to, we're not going to try our best, we are going to launch this on our platform to get you started. So hopefully one day we can sit down and actually let's just talk about it. With that being said, we want to thank you, everybody watching us, and remember that each and every day you have an opportunity to sit down with family and friends. But I will leave you with this last bit of advice for myself to you. It is not every day you have an opportunity to sit down with loved ones who are far away. But it is more important to take the opportunity to be with those people and to share moments that can last a lifetime. It is my honor and privilege to say that I'm sitting next to 2 people who I love dearly, and to have them support me in all that I do brings nothing but tears to my eyes. May God bless you guys. I hope that all of you can do the same thing that we've done here today, and we've done it just for you. Have faith. Let it begin. Thank you for listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin. That's right, Ariel. We're done with another show, and it's always great to have this show with you, my love. You know, we're going to encourage each and every person to listen to our show every single weekday. That's right, you and I are going to help change the world. Do you think that you can do that for me? Huh? Yeah, you know you can. She does. We want to let you know, and yes, we encourage you to listen to our show each and every weekday, and it's going to be live at 7:30. Make sure you're subscribed to our show. Make sure you get ready, fasten those seatbelts, because Ariel and I and my family are going to bring you a new topic, a new story each and every day, right? Isn't that right, Ariel? Yeah. And she's smiling at me. Guys, enjoy your day.